So, good morning, ladies. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Teresa.
Morning, everyone.
Obviously, Anella can't make it. She's got family commitments. But Sharon, honestly, she sometimes sits there with little ones in between, like we do. I used to. I used to have to work holding. I'm going to work with them. I had no option. So, how's your week been, both of you?
You know my week, Claire, not good.
Well, we're going to be positive. Right. I'll try and keep this as brief as I can today. I don't think this meeting as long as like the telephone system was last week, because obviously that's a little bit more in depth. All right. So the reason why I didn't actually give you any training notes on this week's topic is because I'm still building the sales training. Because if you imagine, you can have I'm just about to share my screen now. If you have this CRM system, it can be built basically. So imagine like the VOP telephone system, it's the same with the CRM. It's designed and developed by Lemonades. So we are resellers of that CRM and telephone system or agency package because they get it in the price. So a CRM system is a customer relation management system. So ideally, whether you're using Google, try and think of your mindset as a administrator, as a virtual assistant. The day in the life of a virtual assistant, what would your role be? And how would you interact with your clients, your leads, your inquiries, and your data capture? So that's, what a customer relationship platform is, or management system. So the more that you use and get used to using, whether it would be your client's CRM system, but many sole traders, many SMEs might not even be utilizing a full CRM system. So you can use your CRM system for their clients because you're data capturing. And as long as you have that information in your data set fields, in your form that I'm going to show you in a short while, then either you or the client is collecting all that factual information as much upfront to help you assist in whatever service you're going to provide or they require because of their need, hurt, and pain, and the desire and the goals and the end result, what they're wanting to achieve. All right. So, whether you want to call it a fact finder, CRM, that's what you're doing. You're finding the facts out about the individual, their business, their links, do they have a Google Business Plus page? Which social media pages are they using? How often do they use it? How knowledgeable are they? As you know, some of our agents like yourselves, they are working part-time. Some have got full-time jobs and doing this part-time. So they're doing it really from the benefit of the training. But also, as I know, if I went to price up a full CRM system, it could cost me anything from 50, 100, £200 a month for that CRM system and the functions. So I always believe in having a backup because as an administrator, I'm a paper girl. How you want to do it is up to you. I always record everything in a notebook, name, address, telephone number, what they've discussed, the project, whether it's a website, whether they want to bolt a VOP on, whether they want a whole package or whether they want you to provide a virtual reception administration service, ultimately as your agency, locally, nationally or internationally, depending on, from a virtual assistant perspective, what's your key features that a client may require. For example, you may be from a teaching field, so you can adapt those teaching practices and policies to assisting your clients to become better role models or better at sales techniques because you're learning these things. And trust me, there is many business owners out there that have, lots and lots of money, but if you ask them the fundamentals, they may have actually forgot how to generate a lead, how to speak to an inquiry, and take that through the process. Or it might be somebody with financial services background. So your genre niche as an agency, even though you're a virtual agency, your genre might be financial services. It might be that you've been in education or insurance. recruiting. So there's different fields as well that you will be able to cater. You might say your market is more entrepreneurs, SMEs, that you're looking after clients, or you may decide that you want to go for more corporates. So that's the flexibility that you've got, is that we are a whole of market as a hybrid. Because to recap, obviously affiliates only sell the service. They don't have no telephone system. And they don't have any CRM. And it gets them into the training ready for if they're going to upgrade or if they're going to use it, or so they understand it ahead of time, for the client's perspective, and the benefit of data capture, right, and a data entry type role, from an administration perspective. Virtuals are industry specific, so they're answering calls with a CRM, but they're not selling a service. A digital is whole of market, own brand, like a virtual is an own brand. A hybrid and affiliate is obviously our franchise option. All right. But you imagine the affordability for any client to be able to have a package with a full CRM, telephone, VOP system, and being able to upgrade it. Okay, so I will just run quickly through these, all right, but this will be coming back to you as well, all right, once, because we need to break it down a little bit further, and I don't know whether to just add this video in or to do screenshot type video tutorial as well. But hopefully today might be enough that for ourselves, for you, for your clients, or anybody wants to understand, the importance of a client management system, obtaining name, address, email, business, links about them, their existing business, their experience, what other goals are, and what the end result is. And then you can set a plan in your mind as well with them to envision where they're going to take it on the journey and where you fit into that from a, cost saving exercise. Because as a virtual assistant, you are saving somebody from having a full-time receptionist in an office that they might have people off sick, absences. They may be doing a mediocre job. Whereas if on the phone, you're providing a professional, courteous service for your clients and you're managing their leads, you'll ultimately either be putting leads into your Google, your Outlook, or their CRM, but ultimately using this CRM as well. And this CRM, ultimately, then you can build this database ready for your emails, which I did a big email campaign yesterday. All right, so our system is developed by our IT developers. It optimizes data capture, customizes client experiences, and leverages its features and benefits, and helps you with sales endeavors. Okay, so we're going to break the chapters down at a later date, but it says understanding the Lamini system, which is what you're going to understand today. The cutting-edge solutions developed in-house by our IT experts. So this CRM can be bolted into any website, in essence. So imagine if a client, like we've got some where you saw the websites and all you saw was the typical work that we've done, which was an importer and exporter. Now that exporter has perimeters in their website, in their contact form, that Lamines will have built, and it might have measurements, the car, the model, from, to destination. So our IT developer, even though they've got the skeleton CRM, will then bolt that contact form, fact find, into the CRM with the fields so that they can then enter that information. At the moment, the CRM cannot be integrated with social media. So if you get a lead that comes from LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email, you've spoken to them in the day and you've took a note while you're out and about shopping, or your mate said, yeah, please contact me back. You've got this CRM system to be able to data capture that information. But that's not to say that it can't be integrated later, because the guys, obviously what they do is they look at the cost per average, the time and how long it's going to take to do the job, and the quantity of work to be able to do exactly as the client is scaling up. So that's why most people will start with website and then build it, and then a bit later say, right, I'm ready for my email management. Oh, I'm ready for next part now, because everything is always under construction in life. Right. So basically, you just get used to the system. So I'm actually, as a virtual assistant at the moment, answering calls for another company, but I'm using obviously Lamini's system to capture the information. So I'll show you all that as well. All right. And obviously it says here what I've personally just recapped over. You know, as I said, I was going to browse through it. Is the customization of client engagement. CRM system offers advanced customization options, tailor-make the platform to specific needs of our clients. This ensures a personalized experience that resonates with the client and fosters stronger relationships. Okay, so it helps with streamlined communication, because then when you're going back on the call the second time, or the email, or next person you, when you see them next, you know, it might be a mate in the shopping says, I want a website in 3 weeks time, you know, contact me. So you'll diarize it, but you'll have already made some notes, so you're not having to go back over the information, because you've got to know your customer and what it is that they're wanting. So you're like just taking it on to that next phase in the process. All right, so helps with efficient task management, sales tracking and reporting, enhanced customer insights, improved lead generation, and long-term relationship building. So that's basically the conclusion of the notes. I'll just see if I can actually just swap onto the screen without, I might have to stop my share because I sometimes have to do that and then re-pick it back up. So just bear with me. Let me just make sure I'm in and logged on. Right. Now we'll go to the CRM system. So this is obviously what you've got, Sharon. Okay. So obviously this is a cloud-based CRM system. It's exactly the same as your VOP. It's a VOP-based telephone system that allows you to utilize the system on the telephone as long as you've got fiber and broadband. But I still make calls even on Wi-Fi. So in any VOP country, you can work anywhere at any time for anyone if you wanted to. That's the flexibility of it. All right, so this dashboard is telling you the statistics at the front. So if you see here on this one here, the yellow one at the top on the left is the dashboard. So it tells you how many total leads that we've had in the period, you know, of August so far. You know, you can go back through the data fields. You know, for example, what did we have in July? The company had 140 leads come in via social media. What we normally try to do is concentrate, even though we may be, for example, using Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, we'll decide which platform we're actually going to use organically. So what we'll look at first is, which is what I've been doing. My adverts are for myself, but they're also training, and they're also for you to use if you want to, by taking them, changing them, adapting them, put a bit of your style in. But we normally concentrate on one. So for Lamini's, they've been concentrated on Facebook. So the lead will come through from the paid advert that they've done, because they know from the organic reach, looking at the back end, it's got the impressions, so they know which one people are liking. Okay, even if somebody doesn't like and share, it's like anything. People still browse and look at things on the internet, even though they may not inform you that they have, because people could just pick a link up and then they'll contact you. The team then adds the information in, like we will, and I'll get to that. Okay. So tells you basically who's not answered, who's in conversation, interested, converted, not interested, and wrong details. Because sometimes in social media, people might not update their phone numbers, emails, and they become out of date. So even though they may submit the form and say, I'm interested, you send the information out, assuming that they've got it, and then you find out later that they haven't. So what I normally do is I diarise 2 days later. If it's a lot of information to digest like an agency, I normally give them a weekend or something like that to give time to browse the information. I ring them back and say, I just want to give you a call, check that you've actually got my emails. They'll tell you whether they have or not. You can then use, Sharon, your own corporate email for your virtual agency, resend it out. the email that you've done, and obviously the email templates that I gave you, I'll show you those in the CRM because I've put those templates in the email. So there's automated templates that I've developed ready to go in, all right, to get you started. So it basically is like a graph that they can see. All right, and then you can do this. So these are 2 new leads that have come in. Basically, you will program these fields in, and I'll show you where these are. So their process is, it's a new lead, or they've not answered. So, for example, this lead here. So they've inputted it in. So it's got an ID number. It tells you it's come off the web. They've put the name in, the email, phone number, the company name, whether they've got an existing company name. But I'll show you my form. It's even more in depth that we've done. So you may want to copy mine. Okay, tells you what their inquiry is, that they want to start their own call agency. And obviously that was their campaign ID. So the guys are tracking each advert that they do to the ID in which it's coming into. So they always know which advert actually worked better than others if we're doing campaigns like we're about to, and I'm about to launch on virtual at the moment in the next few weeks. So obviously I'm going to be on my step push. All right. And obviously the date of the inquiry that it came in, and obviously your next appointment. So you change your diary here. Okay.
My phone's on fire.
The diary will come up, and obviously you change the date, and then obviously it was changed here. All right, but here is the conversion in the CRM. So it's a new lead today. I phoned them and say they don't answer. So I'm going to send them an email. The email goes from here. Okay, in here, they've got different emails for different people in different boxes. So if you then had extra staff, you would speak to Shami and speak to the team, and they would add your email for your new member of staff to be in the box, and then they would show up. So I can select that. I can select my template. That's my template. I've already put it in because I saved it as a form in the CRM. I can just make adjustments and notes as I go. So I'm not having to write out fresh emails every single time, but even I can measure the quality of, what I'm actually receiving and getting. It's the same with phone calls. It's the same with leads on CRM. It's the same if you did a leaflet. It's the same if you did an exhibition. Your data capturing, amount of people interested, amount of people not, amount of people wondering, and the ones that are ready to proceed. So I've got in conversation, interested, converted, not interested, wrong details, and quoted. And then here, you'll see this as well. So it's here as well. It's repeating it. So that's how I change it. So after the call and I've done the notes, I might put them as not answered. Okay. And that just gives us, it basically goes into a box. So all these leads, like here, are in a separate box. If they're in conversation, they're in there, and they're diarised on the dates to follow them up. But even though I have this, I always copy and paste. I go and put it in my Google diary as well, and put it in my Google diary so that my phone's notifying me that, hello, I've got an appointment, or hello, I've got a Zoom, or hello, I've got a callback for a client, or a networking event. At the bottom of this form is your timeline. So if you phone somebody, it will show up the phone call here. So I will show you an example that we've worked on. Okay, like this one. Okay. It will show the information that comes up. So the date of the call, the time of the call, because obviously every call is recorded. So even though the FOP is on the other part of the cloud system, it's like a 2-part system on the web. So you can put your notes in here, you put them there, and then save them. If you're adding a new form in, I'll come to that in a second. This is your phone. If that's off, you're green, and it's white, your soft phone at the top, it means your phone isn't on. So if it's white, it's not on. So you just click it on. If you then become low on calls, the system will notify you. If you want to have it notified at the last pound or the last fiver or the last tenner, even while you're on a call, it will notify you. There will be a voice that comes on and says, you are low, you need to top up. All right, onto your calls. But we email from there, we telephone from here. So you can telephone from inside your VOT or telephone from inside the CRM. We're just developing this text part on WhatsApp so that, yeah, the client will then get a text and a WhatsApp if they've actually got that information there as well for extra communication, and also with the other things that we're developing with bots, chats, and video conferencing that we're going to be getting to. Okay, so they're assigning the company, Lamanese, as my client as well. I'm answering their calls, so they're giving me some of their leads to be able to speak to, convert, and obviously chat to. So where is this information and how do I change it? Okay, it's here in form, okay, at the bottom on the left. And what you'll see is it says add new form. All right, and here you can have a play around in it yourself. All right, so don't worry about breaking it or doing something. You can delete it. If you don't save it, it won't save. You have to save it as you're going along, like anything. If you click over onto another page and forget and then go back in the system, so it won't have saved your work. So what you'll do is it's a drag and drop system.
Sorry, Claire, quickly, can I ask for an example form, just because I'm trying to like form a form, but my brain is getting stuck. Like, what's the most common form that would have to use, for example? Because I set up my Facebook. So what's a form, for example, that I can create to generate leads using my Facebook page, for example?
Well, I normally use Excel, Google Doc as my standard template. You know, name, address, information, and details. But where that form is, it's here. So it's like a separate link. This link you can send to a client. Okay, so I'll take you that to in a minute. So from my system says date and name of inquiry, name, personal address, business address, mobile number, work number. You know, I was just testing something out on another mobile number to see if I can get the field to work. Personal email, business email, website URL, you know, Facebook, Google, Twitter, Instagram, notes, and client. Now, I won't go on to the part where in Facebook and Instagram allows you to do an automated message in the back end of your Facebook. So you can set an automated message with this link. In that automated message, thank you for your inquiry today. How may I help you? With your website link, here is my form. Please fill that in and feel free to get back to me. So that form is this separate link. All right, and I'll show you where. All right, so I don't know if it will allow me to do it while I'm online, because obviously this is a public thing, but basically you'll drag and drop it. Right, there you go. It's allowed me to do one. All right, I wasn't sure if it would. You can change this field, Sharon and Teresa. So you can, you know, you might say measurements. You know, because it might be measurements of something. So it will save it into that form. You're building a form for that to become the form. And that link you can send to any customer then to fill in that form. And obviously when the information is back, you'll just obviously input it into the system and it's there. There's another way to input into the system as well. So all your fields are here, the basic or advanced, really. Just concentrate on that for now. So there's basic and then underneath advanced, and just save it at the top as you're building the form, because they're customized for any type of customer. It might be a builder, it might be an architect, it might be a yachtsman, it might be a courier company, it might be a taxi service. So this form can be built with the help of yourself and the IT team. because the IT team will obviously, you know, if you then contacted us and said, IT team, I need them for this client, they will then ring the client and go through it and do a virtual meeting, demonstrating it, helping them, and also so that the client themselves knows how to do it. So at every stage of the way, everybody starts to then understand the whole system. So don't worry about all the other things. Basic, advanced is all you need to really do. And don't worry, you won't break it if you do something wrong. Okay. You know where I showed you the front page here? That's here. So what you'll do, Sharon, is you'll press the plus button. There may be already some fields here, you can change it. But like there, it says new lead, not answered, in conversation, interested, converted, not interested, wrong details unquoted. Okay, so you can add those in, you can adjust them or delete them. You can move them as well. Don't worry about that. That's their programming for your credentials. These are your email templates. So you will create a new template. That's your template name. You'll give it a name. You'll give it a subject line and put in your content, your links. If you put your links in, you just copy it over it, and then obviously it will hyperlink it afterwards. You know, any information that you want to actually put in the email itself. You know, the ones that I've done is like here. So I've got my standard emails that I will have sent over to you. And if you haven't got them, let me know. And obviously I can send over the document for you to be able to pick them back up. But you just basically will copy and paste and put these templates in. So when I send out a template, it will go from here. So this form is here from the template, because I've picked what one I'm having. All right.
Send us some of your templates if we send you an email.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's why I've done this one this morning, because what we're also doing is we're working it so that we're planning a diary as well. Because if you imagine at the moment, because they wanted to test to see what, as an administrator and as a processor, because they look at it from a high IT development website, what does the client want, and, you know, and building it perspective. I'm looking at it from an administration and a process perspective. So I said to them, you know, it's got to the point of quoted or converted. Where am I taking it to in the process? So at the moment, we take it through a different slightly system. It's their internal system, but it goes to the IT programming, anything, notes, updates, changes, you know, sales, deals, any amendments or anything like that we do. From the converted stage, it goes through, and obviously then the information is updated, but we are developing it, especially for the virtuals, that there will be a diary and it'll go straight through to conversion, but the IT team will update it as well. So they will then be able to come in the back end of your system, do some notes and say, just to let you know, it's this. So we're slightly using a different system, but when they use that system, if they have an update for you, they'll send it you on an email. If there's something they require from your client, they'll update it. It will arrive in your email box to say, this client requires this, or we require this from you for your client to go to the next stage. All right. So those are your email templates. So you make a new email template and that goes in here. Okay, this is where you can upload Excel documents. So if you have got data and names and addresses and emails and telephone numbers, you can add them in this way and upload the Excel spreadsheet, and the system will save it and add those fields in. So what you do, if you were then, you know, like this link that I showed you here, that form that I'm now going to go and send you after our meeting, is you pick it up here. So if I wanted to, I'd copy the link and then I would send that straight out to the client on email. If I'm about to read, because I have got typical thank you for your inquiries in my Instagram and in my Facebook that will do an automated response. I just haven't put my links in yet. So I'm about to do the same today, so that there is automated information. They've got the email, they've got the form, they can fill it in, and obviously they can come back to you, and then obviously you can give them a call, leave them your number, leave them your like you can, Sharon and myself, we can leave them our landline virtual number, our landline VOP, sorry, our cloud-based VOP, but it is in essence, it's like a landline number. And you obviously your mobile number as well. And if you are using WhatsApp, which we all are, that gives a client the extra sort of, if they do want to reach out to you or if they've got any questions. So I always try to make sure I reach out to a client in every possible way that I can, if they do need it. All right. And obviously get into a call or a virtual Zoom meeting to discuss and do a virtual demo with them. What you do as a company yourself, as a virtual agency, what your role is as a call answer agent, virtual assistant, receptionist, admin, data input, and lead generation, and how you're going to assist them as an agency, whether they're wanting a website or whether they wanted VOP or want both, or they want an agency, because it's so affordable. So you literally will pick this form up. So that is basically the CRM. So you can imagine it is customizable for different people. Like we've got car importers. We've got one that's into alloys and metals. They import, big wire metals. So it has to be measured and it has to be weighed and certain things. So all these perimeters have been put into the websites that the guys have programmed, and also from an e-commerce perspective, and then they've started bolting it in back into the CRM. So they work with the client as and when they require it. All right. Have you got any other questions right now that you want me to do? So I'll just make a note. So Sharon, you would like the form sending over, wouldn't you?
Yeah, can I have form, Claire?
Yeah. And that'll just help you if you are speaking to a client. You can send them the link and just say, please fill in your information. The more information you give me, the better. And you can say, as a consultant, I will have a look. If they've got an existing website, have a look at it. Analyze it. If it's their social media, are they using their social media? What are they using it for? When was the last time they used it? And you'll find a lot of small traders, SMEs, are using social media, but they're not utilizing the platform itself. So it's good to start an organic reach from a traffic lead perspective, but it's like ourselves at the moment. I'm about to go straight into paid advertising as soon as Shami comes back from India with his family into the UK, because obviously we're now working on further developments to help us as agencies, what we need to bolt in and also improve ourselves for our clients and any work that we want to do. And just remember, even as a virtual agency, you've got this system now that if you wanted to pick up a job and it's just emails, not calls. I did one last year for an artist, and all I did, I got paid to go onto the galleries around the world, I had to find the information. So the name of the artist, the information, website, if they had one, because some artists have websites, some artists don't, and their email and telephone number, and it was exactly the same. I was using her CRM system and mine to data capture, but I was sending her email templates, and that's all I did as a job every single day on a contract. The contract lasted a period of time that we agreed our terms, and that's what you can do as an agency, is you can agree your contracts, and as I said, from a virtual call answering perspective in the CRM, this is so affordable for somebody to be able to do. If somebody had given me this business option 20 years ago and said no overheads, no rent, no rates, no this, no that, but you get hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of marketing, you get the assistant and the mentorship, and also you learn yourself how to do it. So now in the future, you'll know fully how to utilize social media and lead generation, and you can provide that service for your clients. So I hope that has finished off really and evaluated, unless if you've got anything more that you need to ask me personally today, in relation to what we're learning, what we're developing. But you can use a CRM for everything. for all your data capture. But I always have a backup. Paper, I use my Google. You know, I can use HubSpot, I could use MailChimp, I can use, you know, I can build WordPress, I can build Wix, you know, I can build blogs. You know, we're then further later on the line, we might come down to blogs and have a, you know, have your blog bolted in that you may write specific articles about you, your experience, who you are. You know, you can make your blog more personal about you and what you do, you know, or even ask your clients to do testimonials back to your social media page in Facebook, rate it and give you a testimonial after you've done the job. Or even on your virtual agency, you could say as a little additional bonus to your clients when they're starting, do you know what? When you do your first advert, or if we do your advert for you in social media, if you take a package, I'll also promote it for you in my virtual agency, and I'll share it, and you know, so that you know that you've got somebody.
Claire, I've got to go. Doctors are ringing me. I'll speak to you in a bit. Bye, Sharon.
Take care. Take care.
Lots of love. Bye.
Lots of love.
Bye.
So, bye. 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 Bye.
I'll send it. Hold on.
Hi, Teresa. Nice to meet you. Is
No,
that something you do in terms of like, so if I... Sorry. Okay, 1 minute. If 1 minute, Rhea. So if I speak to like a client and they say, oh yeah, we're going to take a package for you to build a website, so could I say to them, oh, I can share your website with some of, you know, my clients on my CRM? Could I do that, or would I need permission from some of my clients?
From a data protection act,
Yeah.
in statutes and acts, when you're collecting information, it's like anything, client confidentiality is an utmost. So you would always have to seek permission if you're going to share details. It's the same as me. When I was running a spa years ago, if somebody wanted to do a photo or a video shoot or be seen in a waxu demonstration, I had to ask them permission. If I was then hosting children's ladies parties, you know, either way, if there was children involved, then I would seek written permission from the parent that they could have a beauty pamper party or a spa party or a pool party. So yes, you can do that, but always ask the client if you're going to network that way. If it's something for the client that you're doing in social media, or you're networking to give someone's information, you're just like, you would ring them or text them, wouldn't you, and say, can I do this? You know, and anything, whether it's in text, whether it's in email, whether it's in social media, yes is a yes, no is a no. It's a written consent in law. You know, it's the same as a verbal contract. But that's why, as an administrator or a virtual assistant, from my years of experience in underwriting and being in the solicitors building and mortgage financial services game with the bankers, that's what I learned at a very young age, was collecting information, because we were going to be underwriting and doing the mortgage. You know, it was very, very deep factual things that we had to find out. But we don't, you know, yes, we're on the phone, yes, we're talking to people, but we don't go and give another client or an outsider their information without their permission. So yes, you can advertise them. Yes, they can give you a testimonial. Yes, all those, as long as you just get agreement, you know, and like anything, just ask them to put it in writing or put it in email or through your WhatsApp. But it's just Data Protection Act, looking after yourself, your own privacy, if you want to do that, and the privacy of your clients as well.
Add that into some of the forms then, like, you know, a separate area where they give consent and a checkbox, you know, if they're filling out sort of like you know, they're signing on to like do something. Could we then have that a form where they can also give permission as well?
I suppose I could put a signature, because in the form there is a signature box.
Yeah.
So I'll check it today and see if that signature box will give a, you know, like just capital signature, because a capital signature or anything is consent.
Okay.
Right. You know, it doesn't have to be a docky signature. You know, for example, you know, in your Google Docs, you can set document sign or Diddy sign to your Google Docs. So sometimes when I've done contracts for clients, it's been a bit out of the remit of my usual charges, because it's a specific job that I've had to cater for, I will send them a DocuSign Google Doc in the email. but I'll have a look and see if I can, if there is a signature field in this form builder, and I'll see if it is able to do that today. But just play around in the system yourself. And I'm conscious of your time because obviously we're going into other meetings, myself, vice versa. Are you ready to wrap up our meeting this morning?
Yeah, that sounds really it's been really useful just to learn more about that. I was wondering, is there going to be a training on the telephone system, or has there already been one that I've missed?
There was last week.
Okay.
I sent you the video in WhatsApp. It is on my Facebook. It looks, it's me and Anella just like this, and you'll see the black screen with the Google Doc. That is the VOP. And again, I've explained it from a perspective that a client requires VOP. Any business, you can sell VOP.
Yeah.
Agency perspective, understanding your perspective, and also a scalable and how it operates perspective, so that you can re-upload that video to your own Facebook and create a whole topic like I have. I've created these VOP and virtual agency topics to cultivate your imagination into, right, how will you do it? Because I've got a blueprint, but I want you to have your own personality and character. It's your agency, it's your business as well in there. Hello, little one. I'm sure Mum wants to get back off at the moment. So, but any questions, anything in development, any suggestions, always just let us know.
Okay.
Put it down into writing. That's what we do. We look at things, you know. We have development meetings, and sometimes it will take us a week. Sometimes development meetings take us 4, because we'll be looking at things in the back end and how we're going to program something, and how the IT team is then going to bolt it in to whichever system that the client requires.
Okay, because I've got a potential client who is my husband, because he's just opened up a business, which is a property maintenance business. So he's at the moment, he's got his mobile phone on the website, but he's thinking of potentially getting just a call answering service, so I can answer calls for him. So I guess,
yeah, okay. So what he will do is he will purchase VOP at $14.99 on your system, on your page. You then notify us, or notify Shami in the group, client, and whether they want a national number like ours, or whether they want a more local number, because they're local driven, depends, because obviously some landlords, some people in properties, some people in builders, they might be local or they might be national. Yeah. And then his number will be in your system. So you will answer the calls in. So don't worry about that. The guys will then work with you on the program back of it. They will contact the client as well and make sure that your client and Lemonese are in that meeting. If I need to come in, obviously I will come in as well. And it's so that your client then can have his calls answered. You're then data capturing. And he may also then say, well, can you go and do my bookings as well and book it in for a quote? Or can you book it in? So it's either, which CRM is he using? If he's using none, you're using ours.
Okay.
You know, and if he's got no diary system, because ask him, what is his diary system? How are you booking your clients in? How are you doing it? Right? If he hasn't got any, then use Google.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
You can set up a separate business email for him in your Google, another one. So it's another diary, so it's not in your diary.
Okay.
And you can run simultaneous business emails for different companies. It's the same if I was doing analytics. I can have my analytics account, or I can manage other people's analytics accounts in Google. Or say like Lemonese, I've given them permission, so they can have a look at my stuff. It's the same as I've given them permission for the Facebook. So they can look in my business stuff, same as I can.
Yeah. I've got a question. So should I set up a Google account using my Kirby Moxlow email, or should I use a Google account I already have?
You can use a Google account that you already have. Litsa called hers Litsa at virtualagency@gmail.com. I'm virtual assistant 7778@gmail.com.
Okay.
You know, I've got my professional email, my Claire at virtual-agency.org, like you have. Yeah. So yeah, you can use that. But yeah, if you imagine on the left hand side, on the right hand side at the top, where the little logo is, where you would put your avatar, you can either put a personal picture in or your company logo. So you you can manage, even in there, different people's information and different diaries.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, that sounds really good. I'll get that all set up. Yeah, I'm excited to get started. I've been away and busy the past couple of weeks, so my head's in the game now. So yeah,
I knew it was going to be this month because of holidays, people away.
yeah.
For example, Sheffield, we have 2 weeks of shutdown with the steel industry for 2 weeks in August. So it's seeing where the market trends are. September will be quite busy and January will be, because people are motivated again, changes, new business, new career, like they do, you know, those type of things. But yeah, you can answer the calls for your husband. You will answer it as, hello, AB Builders, how may I help you this morning? Yeah, and that call will be coming through to you, and you will know it's AB Builders or a recruitment company or whoever you're working with, because it says it as you're answering the call.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have a lovely day. Enjoy your next meeting. I'm sure I'll be playing catch up with you. And
we'll be catching up. You have a good day too. Well done, you fixed it.
Thank you. And see you later, little one. I'll just end the recording of the session. Oh, no, I should stop sharing first. All right. So thank you. Take care.